Last night, the Braves battled through another vintage Tim Lincecum outing. And 2 solo homers from B.J. Upton and Freddie Freeman were not enough as the Braves fell 4-2. Tonight, Mike Minor takes another shot at a Giants club that's heating up out west. Tonight, it's Game 2 of our series, the Braves and Giants on Sports South.
The San Francisco National League Ball Club is proving to be a giant problem for the Atlanta Braves. The San Franciscans have won the first 4 matchups head-to-head, something the Braves hope changes tonight here at AT&T Park. All year long, Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price every day. It's another gorgeous evening for baseball in San Francisco, record high temperatures, and hopefully the Braves bats will heat up too as they meet San Francisco in Game 2 of our series. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip, welcome to San Francisco. A rough start for Atlanta last night. The Giants beat the Braves 4-2. Tim Lincecum looked like the pitcher who won a couple of Cy Youngs back-to-back. The Braves couldn't support Gavin Floyd, and that's been an ongoing problem, partner, for this Braves ball club in 2014.
Even during the 3-game sweep of Chicago and Atlanta, Chip, it wasn't like the offense was just bludgeoning the Chicago Cubs. It has reached almost epidemic proportions in the fact that they are not scoring runs. They've scored 2 runs or less in 17 games. And as John Smoltz said last weekend, it's a miracle that they've won 6 of those games. The last 14 games, they've gone 5-9. They've averaged just over 2 runs and barely over a 200 average. And they are second from the bottom only to San Diego by 1 run as far as the fewest runs scored by any team. So this has got to change, and it's got to change because the starting pitching has been so outstanding. Give these guys a few runs to work with and watch the Braves take off. They're still in first place, but because of the starting pitching, and they could put some distance between themselves and everybody else with a little offense.
Mike Minor gets the ball for the Braves. It's his third start of the season. Ryan Vogelsong gets the ball for San Francisco. Joe and I will step aside for a moment. We will come back with National League news and notes and more baseball from the city by the bay after this.
AT&T Park, where they have enjoyed 262 consecutive sellouts. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Tom Hart. When the fans see the lineup today, they'll see something a little bit unconventional to most fans, but something Braves are getting used to. The pitcher continues to bat in the 8 hole for Freddie Gonzalez. Joe showed you the offensive struggles a few minutes ago, and so the manager has decided a little tweak here and there can't hurt anything. So how do we find more production? The idea was to get a second leadoff hitter in the 9 hole and set up Freddie Freeman, the best hitter with more RBI opportunities. This is our Home Depot tools from the dugout. It has worked in a sense for Freeman. With the pitcher batting in the 8th spot, he's hitting .346 with a home run and 3 runs driven in. But he's only had 6 at-bats with a runner in scoring position, and only once in the last 4 games has Freddie Freeman come to the plate with the runner in scoring position. Maybe that will change tonight. Tyler Pasternicki, best starting at second base, will be in the 9 hole. And this is a series that started 7 games ago when Ramiro Pena hit 9th, had a home run, a double, and keyed the Braves offense. Maybe they can find that again from that 9 hole in the second base position. It's the Braves and Giants coming up next as Atlanta tries to get a grip on an offense that needs to find some runs. We'll take a look at the starting lineups and have first pitch for you by the Bay. Chip and Joe at the mic when we return.
Always does. Got it exactly right. It is another beautiful night for baseball in San Francisco as we join you for Tuesday night Braves baseball. It's presented by your Atlanta area Mazda dealers. Another sellout gathering at AT&T Park, and the wind blowing straight out on a warm night. The Braves have got to get the offense going. Joe mentioned that just a moment ago. And a subtle change or two tonight in the Toyota starting 9. Tyler Pasternicki gets the start at second base. He'll hit 9th. Evan Gattis is back in the lineup behind the plate. And were it not for B.J. Upton and Freddie Freeman, the Braves might have been no hit last night by Tim Lincecum. That's got to change tonight against Ryan Vogelsong.
Ryan Vogelsong is 36 years old, 6'4", 215 out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania. He's in his 8th year in the big leagues. You see his splits home and road. No record here at home, but an excellent ERA and just a .210 average here at this ballpark, which is a notorious pitcher's ballpark. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Well, there are 3 guys at the top of the order tonight. Hayward, Justin Upton, and Freddie Freeman, who have good numbers against him. Maybe they'll wreak havoc on him, because that could be a problem for him. He's also gaining steam. His first 4 starts, he had a 7.71 ERA. His last 3, he's given up 2 earned runs in 20 innings. That includes a 6-inning stint in Atlanta when he beat the Braves 3-1 on May 3rd and only gave up 1 run.
So Jason Hayward will get things started for the Braves. Jason at 206 with 3 homers and 10 runs batted in. And Hayward pops up the first pitch. Behind the second base bag is Brandon Crawford. The shortstop makes the play. And there is out number 1. 79 degrees. Are you kidding me? In San Francisco.
Crazy.
Here's Justin Upton, second in the league in homers with 9. Upton at 287 with the batting average, and 0 for 4 last night. You know, lost in all of the Braves' offensive woes is the smaller picture, which is beating the Giants. Braves haven't done that yet. And here's hoping the 1, 2, 3 hitters in the lineup can do that. That's our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot tonight.
Here are those 3 guys I was talking about, and they're good numbers against Vogelsong. What a bonus it would be if those 3 guys could kind of set the table tonight.
And a strike to Upton. You mentioned the work of Vogelsong in his last 3 starts. Talking to the Giants broadcaster before the game, they said his last start was far and away his best start for San Francisco. Not just this year, but maybe going back to last season too. And to put it in the words of Mike Krukow, he is pitching with some anger. He's really getting after it on the mound.
That start was against the Dodgers. He pitched into the 8th inning. He gave up 5 hits. They were all singles, and he induced 13 ground ball outs. He throws 87 to 92, throws a lot of cutters. He's got a good curveball and changeup.
And that missed upstairs. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Justin said his back's feeling okay. Nothing that a few hits wouldn't cure.
I loved your reply to him too. Back to the screen foul.
That always works. No matter what's ailing you, hits always help.
This series a matchup of 2 of the best pitching teams in the National League. The Braves lead the league in ERA at 2.66. The Giants at 3.09. Just a shade behind the San Diego Padres, who are in second in that category. And now a full count to Upton. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The biggest difference between these clubs is runs scored. The Giants have scored 163 runs. The Braves 117. Upton with a good battle here in the first inning. That's out of play foul.
It's rare to see a ball hit into McCovey Cove here because it's a long poke to hit it all the way out of the ballpark. We saw 2 last night, which gives you a little bit of an indication of how warm it is, how the ball is traveling, and the fact that the wind is blowing out. Here's Willie.
And Upton is down on strikes. Vogelsong won the first inning battle with the Braves outfielder. 2 up, 2 down for Freddie Freeman. Freeman's homer last night, the second homer he's hit in his last 20 games. And he takes downstairs, ball 1. He's hit 2 career homers against Vogelsong among his 5 hits. And Freeman a roller to the right side with the shift on. Freddie is an easy out. And Vogelsong, a pop-up, a strikeout, and a ground out. Has a 1-2-3, top of a scoreless first. tonight. They will sell out game 2 of this series. The Braves retired in order by Ryan Vogelsong. Now Mike Minor goes to the mound against a Giants club that's got a 2.5 game lead over the Rockies in the National League's Western Division. Buster Posey got the night off last night. He's in the lineup tonight for the Giants, and he wears out Atlanta pitching. And he's riding a very hot streak over his last 14 games. And, of course, Vogelsong versus Minor, the pitching matchup. And Mike could use a good outing, too.
Absolutely, he could. He's 0-2 with a 6.97 ERA. But his career numbers against the National League West are very good. 8-4 with a sub-3 ERA. Coming off a tough start against the Cardinals when he didn't get out of the 5th inning, gave up 11 hits. His Ford keys tonight. Long ball. He's given up 3 homers in 10 innings in his first 2 starts. And try to stay out of big innings. Try to do some damage control. If they do get a couple of guys on, try to get that ground ball that could help you cut into a big inning and give the offense a little bit of room to get something going.
That's a good point, Joe, about the home run ball. The Giants, surprisingly, have the 2nd highest home run total in the league, second only to the Colorado Rockies. And Angel Pagan is the hitter. He's hit 3 homers for the Giants this year. And he's hitting .326, good for 6th in the National League. And up and away, evens the count. Pagan had a big night last night for the Giants. He was 3 for 4 and stole a couple of bases. And a roller toward third. Chris Johnson behind the bag makes the peg to first, and Minor off to a good start. Leadoff man retired, 1 out. Here's the Braves lineup defensively for game 2. Upton, and Hayward left to right in the outfield. Tyler Pasternicki gets the start at second. Evan Gattis back in the lineup after a night off last night.
This Giants team's playing great baseball right now. They've won 10 out of 13, 14 out of 18, but they're not exactly tearing it up with runners in scoring position either. They're doing it primarily with what you said, home runs.
And their pitching's been pretty salty, too.
Yep.
We've seen their bullpen. They've given up 2 runs to the Braves. So you don't want to trail these guys late. As Pence takes a called strike. It's even 1-1.
Actually, just 1 run.
That was the Freeman homer, right?
Yes.
So in some ways, the oddities of the Major League schedule sees the Braves play home-and-home series with the Giants in the span of about 10 days. We won't have to see them again until hopefully postseason time after tomorrow's game.
We talked about that a little bit at home, that it's tough playing teams so close together like the Giants and the Cardinals. But in one way, get them out of the way and get them out of your hair, because they're both good ball clubs.
And that'll be the case for the Braves coming up. We'll be done with the Giants. We'll be done with the Cardinals and the Brewers before the end of the month of May. 2-2 pitch is way inside, full count.
Walks have not been an issue for Mike in his first 2 starts. He's only walked 2 in his first 10 innings. But location of his fastball in the middle of the plate has been an issue.
And Pence shoots one the other way, and that's headed for the corner. Hayward will play the carom, and Pence will stand at second with a 1-out double. 9th 2-base hit for Pence. His first of the series.
This pitch was up and out over the plate, and he's kind of the modern version of Vladimir Guerrero. He's never seen a pitch he wouldn't swing at, and he put a good swing on that high pitch.
So a new set of signs for Mike Minor with a runner at second, and Buster Posey, the superstar for San Fran, stands in. Posey's behind the plate tonight and hitting a robust .306 with 7 homers. And he chased a pitch up in the zone. Strike 1. He's got 6 hits in his last 12 at bats. That's over a 3-game hit streak for the Giants.
Top of their order, Chip. They've got some guys that are just tearing up left-handed pitching. Pagan 339, Pence 320, Posey 293. Down the bottom of the order, you got Sanchez at 357, and Brandon Crawford's hitting 410 against lefties. And they are 12-6 against left-handed starters.
In the air to center. Upton will catch that. And that's the second out of the inning. Well, you made a great point before the game when we were getting ready for the broadcast tonight. You look at this Giants lineup up and down the order. Every single starter, with the exception of Pablo Sandoval, is in double digits in RBIs and a whole lot of damage in the lower third of that order.
The last 3 position players in the bottom of their order, Sanchez 16 RBIs, and he doesn't have that many at bats. Hicks with 15, Crawford with 17. Freddie Freeman leads the Braves with 21, so they're getting production up and down their lineup.
And this man has been a welcome addition for the Giants offense, a real slugging anchor in the middle of this lineup. Last year the Giants were 14th in the National League in homers. That is not the case, as we told you earlier, this year. 1 ball, no strikes for Mike Morse.
He was taking batting practice today, and I mentioned talking to Justin Upton in the Braves dugout, and I brought up Morse and what a good addition he is to the middle of their lineup, and he said anybody that can come to Turner Field, a right-handed hitter, and slice a ball to right field and hit it in the seats, you know how strong that indicates they are.
Dangerous pitch, 2-0, and Morse took a curveball and a beauty. I still go back to the home run he hit while with the Nationals against the Braves at Nationals Park up toward that restaurant in left center field. That's one of the longest I've ever seen hit. Back-to-back breaking balls.
Good hook. Beauty. Morse gave up on it.
Broken bat. Simmons at short, flips to first in time, and Minor pitches around the Hunter Pence 1-out double. On we go to the second. No score.
When you make it out here, and I found our friends from Delta that will be taking us after the game tomorrow night on to St. Louis to take a look at the Delta on deck. We've got a 3-game series against the Cardinals, and the rotation has been solidified just a little bit. Alex Wood will make the start Saturday against a Cardinals starter to be determined. Wainwright and Harang go on Sunday, final game of that series. So I've got everybody with me. I'm going to start with Susan. You guys travel the world. What's your favorite part about San Francisco?
It's just a beautiful city. It's just good food, beautiful scenery. It's just great.
I thought you were going to say traveling out here with all of us.
Well, that goes without saying.
Okay, so we get going in the second inning. Evan Gattis at the plate. Max Honey's really the squad leader for everybody here. Let's talk about one thing. The guys in the booth were really curious. How long does it take you to fill up those little fruit cups?
Sometimes it's days. Most of the time I can do it in about 15 minutes. And I'd just like to say one thing, too, that the main problem with being here live at the game is missing Joe and Chip doing the broadcast, because they're so good. Whatever it is they're paying them is not enough.
Why, did you guys have this worked out beforehand?
No, I'm just telling you the truth.
You know, Skip Carey used to always say that he imagined that you grilled every burger by hand at your house before they got on the Delta flights.
Untrue. I had to do them at the airport. We have a barbecue grill down on the tarmac.
Where else would you have? We got Susan, Sydney, Alma, Barbara, and Anna with us today, with Gattis at the plate, and he takes another ball 2-2. Sydney, what's your favorite part about San Francisco besides traveling with all the wonderful men of the Atlanta Braves?
They are unbeatable, but I love the weather out here. It's always sunny. It's gorgeous. I feel so healthy when I'm out here. It's beautiful.
And it should be noted, you guys watching at home, they treat us with such great care and love on every single flight. It makes traveling with Delta is always fun, but with these people you can't go wrong. Chip?
Tom, thank you very much, and you're absolutely right. We couldn't do this without those lovely, wonderful, fantastically friendly ladies who help us on our charter week in and week out.
Well, you know, I love Mac Honey.
Yeah, Tom, can you interview Max more?
I may have a new agent.
Chris Johnson's the batter, and he strokes the first pitch into shallow right center. That'll drop for the Braves' first hit of the game. And Chris's bat is coming back to life. He had an 0-for-4 night last night, but has now hit safely in 6 of his last 7 outings.
Hey, the Braves will take some broken bat singles and some seeing eye hits, mix in a couple of gappers here and there, maybe have a big inning of their own.
So a 1-out hit for Chris. Here's B.J. Upton. Big night for B.J. at the plate. A couple of extra base hits. Game-tying homer in the 5th, and then a double in the 7th. A lot of folks in Braves country were wondering about the stolen base attempt that B.J. tried in that 7th inning. He went on his own, and to a man, the Braves loved the aggressiveness he showed on the base paths.
I'm with them. I thought it was a great move, too. First pitch after the double.
On that play, Upton was originally called safe on a bang-bang play at third base. And Pablo Sandoval diving for the throw from the catcher. Swiped in between the legs of Upton and tagged him on the back foot right before the lead foot got to the third base bag.
BJ said he saw the replay today, and he said I never felt it on my back foot. I just thought he fanned trying to tag me, and the glove went up between my legs. I never felt it hit my foot, but on the replay I could see what they're talking about.
And so for a club struggling to score runs, I'm with you. Try anything and everything.
Yep.
Reckless abandon on the base paths if you can.
It was tie game at that point, trying to get 1 run across, and the momentum swung right there. Giants came up, put 3 runs across in the bottom half of the 7th.
A ball and 2 strikes, and that's upstairs. That inning was helped along by a Freddie Freeman error at first base. But Freddie Gonzalez talked about that after the game. He said, look, when we don't swing the bats, when you get only 1 run, all the plays that you don't make get magnified.
They sure do.
The 2-2 extend to first. Strike 3. Vogelsong has his third strikeout. And Upton gets clarification on the call. That's out number 2.
Ed Hickox is the home plate umpire, and that is burning the outside corner right there.
Braves are catching Vogelsong on a terrific run for the Giants. And he's got his third strikeout. 2 outs in the inning for Andrelton Simmons. Got a little scare, I guess, with Simmons last night. Something to do with his back.
Yeah, I asked him about it before the game, and he just kind of brushed it off. He goes, "Oh, that's all right." I said, "Did you do it on a swing last night?" He goes, "No, it started before last night."
Little pop to short. Crawford drifts back and makes the play. And Vogelsong is out of the second inning. Still no score. Pablo Sandoval comes to the plate for the Giants. Cisco all year long. Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price every day. That big giant baseball glove, one of the unique architectural features of AT&T Park. Just to the camera left of that baseball glove is the giant Coca-Cola bottle. And fans who've not been to this ballpark should know that when the kids come to AT&T Park, that's a slide in there. A chance for the kids to run around and enjoy themselves. A Little League replica-sized baseball field back there. We've got the trolley car. A lot of great features in the Giants' home. As Mike Minor has had a good breaking ball. Snaps one off to Pablo Sandoval here in the second. Sandoval at 191. A couple of homers, 8 RBIs. And he pops that one to deep right. Hayward goes back, still going back. Look at that ball carried. And Sandoval chased Hayward to within a step of the wall, and he's retired for out number 1.
Got to get the ball down. Pence hit a ball that was up, and now Sandoval does the same thing. The people in the background trying to distract Jason just a little bit.
Here's Hector Sanchez. Last night, Michael Morse played first base. Tonight, it's Sanchez. Remember, the Giants are without Brandon Belt, who was hit by a pitch last week that broke his thumb. He had surgery today, I believe. He'll be lost 6 to 8 weeks. So Bruce Bochy will have to mix and match over at first. Between Morse, Posey can play over there. This guy, obviously.
If this guy keeps swinging the bat the way he is, you could probably expect to see him over there a lot. 12 for his last 34. And Eddie Perez was raving about his defensive catching ability. Said he really likes the way he handles the pitchers. Calls a good game, blocks the ball wonderfully, he said, in his opinion.
He's just a kid, 24 years old. He's been up and down with the Giants the last couple of years. His debut came in the 2011 season. So he was real young when he got to the big leagues for the first time. He hit 280 in 2012, hit 248 last year in 63 games. He's out of Maracay, Venezuela.
Martin Prado's hometown.
That got away from Gaddis. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That was low. Now it's 2-2. Braves got some help from the Angels today. They beat the Phillies in Philadelphia. 4-3 was the score there. The Mets, though, are beating the Yankees again. Swing and a miss. Sanchez chased a ball that was darting toward the left-hand batter's box. Good changeup from Minor. And that's Mike's first strikeout tonight and second out of the inning.
Had a chance to talk to Brandon before the ball game. Just went over to say hello and wish him well, except against the Braves, of course, but proud of him for being able to hang in there. And it looks like he's found a home here, and he said he really likes playing in San Francisco. It's a great group of teammates and loves Bruce Bochy.
They love the 7 homers he's given them, as well as excellent defense at second base. Marco Scudero out with a bad back. So Hicks has been quite a find. The wind play with that ball, and Freeman hung with it and made a nice play. Mike Minor gets the Giants in order in the second. He'll lead off the Braves third. Still no score. He is maybe the most unorthodox player in our league, if not the entire sport, but still a terrific player. And tonight our AT&T Uverse trivia question. He recorded 178 hits last year. Who was the last Giant with a 200-hit season? The last Giant with 200 or more hits.
Bill Miller.
Terrific third baseman in his day with the Giants. As Mike Minor leads off for Atlanta.
I don't know if Barry Bonds could accumulate 200 hits because he got walked so much.
Right. And that question is not just since 1958 when the Giants moved west. That is in the entire history of the Giants organization.
So then that doesn't necessarily mean Bill Miller is the right answer.
Well, it
if
could
giving
be.
us that clue that it goes that far back. Surely Willie Mays got 200 hits in a season here.
Melott. Willie Mays. Great and proud franchise is this Giants franchise in San Francisco. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And Minor didn't get that pitch. He's the 4th strikeout victim of Vogelsong tonight. Pitcher retired to start the Braves' 3rd. 1 out.
Lincecum struck out 11 last night. Romo had 1 in the 9th inning for a total of 12.
Well, we've talked about that with this Braves offense for a couple of years now. As Tyler hits. This is a high contact to damage ratio offensive ball club. When the Braves are hitting home runs, they can score with anybody in baseball. When they're not, it's tough for them to score because they strike out around 9 times a game.
Yeah, that's a challenge. Great story today in USA Today. If anyone cares to read it, about how the game has changed with power pitching and how it's affected offense. How strikeouts have gotten more and more over the last 9 years. There have been more strikeouts over the last 9 years progressively, and almost 20% now. So there are a lot of teams dealing with a lot of strikeouts. Braves are no different.
In your day, did you see the quality of depth of power pitching in each team's pitching staff that we're seeing now?
No, it's, if there was one guy that threw hard, we didn't have a radar gun. We didn't have it in the ballpark, so we didn't know how hard everybody was throwing. But it seemed like every team had a guy that when they'd bring him in, everybody knew this guy throws hard. Be ready, be quick. But it wasn't like same as the guy before, like it is now, throwing 95.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Pasternak takes a call at third. That is 5 strikeouts already for Vogelsong. Folks, his career high is 8.
And Braves second basemen are 0 for their last 27, and that includes all of them. The last hit by a Braves second baseman was by Ramiro Pena, a home run on May 5th. They are last in hits, next to last in runs, tied for next to last, so that makes them last basically. And is this the 5th or 6th straight game that Dan Uggla has not started?
This is 6. Hayward, the hitter, he popped out. Takes a second strike.
Again, in average on base percentage, and they're now 0 for 20 the last 27.
And Freddie Gonzalez continues to state the following. He will play the man at second base on that particular day that he feels gives his club the best chance to win. Period. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Did Hayward go? No swing. Now 2-2. High fly toward left. Long run. And Morse is there in foul ground to make the play. And the Braves are retired in order in the top of the 3rd inning. More icing on the cake for the spectacular views we're rewarded with at AT&T Park. Here's Brandon Crawford. The more I see this guy play, the more I like him.
Story goes that as poorly as he hit against lefties last year, and he is a straight left-handed hitter, that when Barry Bonds went to camp this spring with the Giants for the first time in years, just to work as a special instructor, that Crawford asked him to help him with a plan to hit left-handed pitchers. So far, that plan's working out pretty well. He's hitting .410 with 3 of his 4 homers against left-handers.
Maybe ought to get Jeffrey Leonard in here to help him with the right-handed pitchers.
Well, Jeffrey can help him out with that one flat down home run trot.
Exactly right. Popped up into left. And Upton will battle the swirling winds, and he's able to make the grab for the first out. Mike's retired 6 in a row now, and Ryan Vogelsong stands in. It was not a sure thing for Vogelsong to make this Giants rotation in the spring. Last year he made just 19 starts. He was really starting to get on a roll when a comebacker hit him in the hand and broke a finger. Now here he is, 36 years old, beginning his 4th full season with the Giants, where he's really blossomed as a major league pitcher. Double-digit wins in 2 of his first 3 seasons.
He bounced around a little bit before doing a stint in Japan for a couple of years. Originally a Giants draft choice back in 1998, a 5th-round pick out of Kutztown State in Pennsylvania. Came back to the Giants, and he's pitched real well since he came back to them. Yes, he did. Really? No appeal?
Nope. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Vogelsong is retired. That's the 2nd strikeout for Minor.
Mike looked sharp tonight. Made a couple of mistakes with fastballs up that he's corrected, it looks like. Didn't cost him a run. Pitched around the double by Pence in the 1st inning. And kept Sandoval in the ballpark with a deep fly in the 2nd.
That's in the dirt for Angel Pagan. Bounced out to Chris Johnson to start the game for the Giants offense. Pagan was originally a Met. Cubs got him in 2006 in a cash deal. Then the Cubs traded him back to the Mets for Ryan Myers, a minor league outfielder, in 2008. Then the Giants got him from the Mets for Ramon Ramirez and Andres Torres. The Giants then signed him to a 4-year contract after the 2012 season.
That was a great trade for San Francisco. He really came into his own once he got here.
Deep short. Simmons from the cut of the grass loads up and throws a strike. Pagan got the green light on a 3-0 count, and he rolls out to end the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Miners. Simmons with a nice play. Braves sent Upton, Freeman, and Gaddis to the plate, looking for our game's first run.
Julio Teheran and Andrelton Simmons took time out of their day today to visit local chapter of the American Red Cross. Santana really organized the outing, got Andrelton and Julio to tag along. He said it's something that he does back home in the Dominican on a regular basis. I asked him what he thought or what the fans' reaction was when Atlanta Braves showed up. He said it's not that we're Braves, we're Major League Baseball players. And guys, later on, maybe when Julio Teheran makes his next start, we'll talk about how Ervin Santana is serving as a mentor to Julio Teheran and what he thinks about his future as a pitcher.
Thank you, Tom. Great report. Always love to talk about what the guys do off the field as opposed to merely what they do between the white lines. We're so blessed with Tim Hudson as a member of the Braves and his work with his wife Kim with the Hudson Family Foundation. John Smoltz in his day with the Atlanta Food Bank, and the list goes on and on. So great for Ervin, Andrelton, and Julio today. Justin Upton leads off the fourth inning already. And a little pop behind first down the right field line. Long run, Pence. He bobbled it. And that is a foul ball. Pence got there, but it rolled up his arm, it appeared. And a swing on the house for Upton.
Well, he sensed that wall closing in on him as he was running out of room and may have taken his eye off the ball right at the last second. Eddie Perez trying to talk it fair, but it didn't work.
0-2 for Justin Upton. Struck out in the Braves first. Had him reaching for that pitch, and it's popped up to the right side. Hicks will drift down at second. He's there. Makes the play for out number one. 6 up, 6 down for Vogelsong now. And Freddie Freeman is the batter.
There's 3 pop-ups to the infielders. To end the third inning, Hayward popped up to shallow left, but Morse made the catch in foul territory to go with 5 strikeouts. So it's not like even the hit by Chris Johnson was just a little pop-up flare out into shallow right. Nobody's hit the ball hard.
It's even at 1 apiece as Freeman looks outside at ball 1. The Giants have somewhat of a shift on for Freddie. He's got the whole third base line to play with. May have taken a shot that way on that pitch and fouled it off.
Well, it's a surefire way to cross up your defense is to pitch him away.
See where Hicks is playing. He'd be the rover in a beer league softball team.
There's something up under his hands, make him move out of the way, and then let's see if they go back away again. Nope, going to double up.
Little broken bat flare, and that's going to drop into center field. So Braves have a couple of broken bat hits tonight. Freeman has 1, Johnson has 1, and there's a 1-out start for the Braves in the inning.
It's on his cutter. The cutter's coming in on the left-hander's hands, and they're just having to fight it off. And got that one elevated. Give Freddie a chance to get a piece of it.
Something the Giants broadcasters were talking about for Vogelsong, which was much improved, was his rhythm from the windup to the stretch position. He said he was at his best in doing that last time out. First time he's been in the stretch since the second inning. And Gaddis greets him with a rope toward right center. Pence won't get that. That's headed for the wall. Here comes Freddie around third. He's going to score. Gaddis around second is on his way to third. He'll have a stand-up triple, and the Braves have struck first in San Fran tonight.
How about El Oso Blanco? Like another cutter that was supposed to run off the plate, but it went right to the sweet spot of Evans' bat. That's a long chase for the Gappers. First major league triple for Evan.
And his 17th RBI. And the Braves have scored the game's first run and have a chance for a second one with the infield in now and one out. Chris Johnson singled in the second. And let's take it all. 1 ball, no strikes. These teams very similar in one statistic. They're similar in many statistics, but one in particular. When they score first, they usually win. Braves are 13-0 when they score the first run in a game. The Giants are 19-4. Little pop, inside out swing. Pence is under it in shallow right. And no chance for Gaddis to advance. 2 out.
That hurts.
The infield can back up now with 2 outs and B.J. Upton up.
The Braves broke the string last night by scoring 2 runs. First 3 games they played against the Giants, they'd only scored 1 run in each of the 3 games and had only 1 run going to the 9th last night.
One ball, no strikes. Upton was called out on strikes in the second. I don't believe he was arguing the call, but just wanted confirmation on what Ed Hickok saw for strike 3.
One of the things that's really helped Vogelsong since that rough beginning and a 7.71 ERA over his first 4 starts is his ability to get out of jams. With that pop-up of Chris Johnson, the last 20 runners in scoring position, hitters are just 3 for 20.
That'll save you some heartache, won't it? Oh, 1-2 count for BJ.
And that was virtually the same pitch he made on BJ to strike him out first time around.
With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, the Braves this year are hitting 129. That's a big second run, potentially 90 feet away.
It's been a sore spot for BJ too since he became an Atlanta Brave.
This year he's 0 for 12 in this situation. He struck out 6 times. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Upton hit a line drive homer here last night that reached the first row of the seats in left to tie the game at 1. He'd settle for a single here to put the Braves up 2. Giannis 90 feet away after a triple that brought home Freddie Freeman.
You mentioned the compliments to his rhythm, wind up and stretch. That doesn't have anything to do with his pace, because he is a snail out there with runners on base.
Three balls, 2 strikes. And Upton is called out, and that ends the inning. Upton might have cause for argument on that pitch. Gaddis left stranded at third after his first career triple. Freddie Freeman scored on that play, and we head to the home 4th. 1-0. Braves at the lead. 3 and 4 hitters up against Mike Minor. Pop sensation Austin Mahone is part of the Braves Summer Concert Series presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. June 3rd, we invite you to stay after the game for a free post-game concert. Limited VIP field passes are available for the show for just $20. Visit Braves.com/concerts today.
Do all of his homeboys call him Mahoney? I mean, I know it's Mahone, but I bet his buddies.
Pretty good chance.
They don't call him Homie, they call him Honey.
Honey. Tom?
Guys, there might be some confusion at Turner Field for that. Remember, Paul Maholm's friend used to call him Mahomies. That's exactly what his fans call him. They are Mahomies.
See, I was on to something. Thanks, Tom.
Genius.
I can pick up on a whole lot of minutia. Some of it's more like manure.
Well, it all works. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Hunter Pence. Minor's rolling. He's set down 8 straight. Pence is the only Giant to reach base. He doubled down the first base line.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did indeed. Pence is struck out. I was going to say, with Pence's hit in mind, Freddie Freeman was a little closer to that first base line. Doesn't matter. 1 out.
Again, he'll swing at anything. If he can see it and reach it, he's going to go after it. And as we just saw, sometimes not to his best interest.
Here's Buster Posey. In Mike Minor's young major league career, this is his 6th start against the Giants. Mike has now thrown 34 innings. He has struck out 35 Giants and has walked only 4 men.
Good numbers.
Numbers I mentioned, update those to include tonight's performance. But even without tonight's good work, Mike's had good luck against these guys.
He pitched well against them in Atlanta and he got beat 2-1. Gave up 2 solo homers.
That's one of the things I like about Mike. He is not afraid to pitch inside.
He's got a good enough fastball to do it.
That skipped up there. It's a full count for Posey.
And you got to keep this guy honest. His last 17 games against the Braves, Buster Posey's hit .409. A lot of that damage at Turner Field. Comes back to Georgia and gets a little home cooking.
That's well hit to right. But Hayward's going to have a play. That's the deepest part of the ballpark. 421 feet away from home plate. But still, Posey, a big, strong young man, hit that hard, and the wind helped push it to the warning track. But Hayward's there for the 2nd out.
There's a marker to the left of that 421 mark up there. The 756 to denote the Fantasy League home run number.
Here's Michael Morse. He bounced out to short and looks at a ball high. 1 ball, no strikes. As good a hitter and as big a slugger as Morse is, right now the Braves are catching him, it would appear, at a good time. He is not swinging a hot bat right now.
2 for his last 25 now. A lot of the Braves were arguing on behalf of Freddie Freeman last night in the ground ball, that slow roller that hit the bag and that Morse misplayed, and it's pretty darn funny when you look at it again. But I was saying, you know, the ball hit the bag and then hit him. He was on his knees and it hit him. It's kind of hard to give anybody a hit.
That's under Minor's glove, but look at Simmons. He didn't spectate. He made a fine play. Don't know if Minor got a bit of leather on that or not, but Andrelton Simmons is there to clean things up. 3 up, 3 down, and the Braves lead 1-0.
I always love it when Judge Smale stops by the booth.
He's a big Braves fan. I bet you didn't know that.
I do now.
Here's Andrelton. That's one of the hidden gems of this ballpark. We have such great views, but beyond the left field bleacher concourse is that big row of beautiful palm trees, and then the marina's back there. As Crawford a chance at short. Nice pick. And a strong arm to get Simmons for the first out.
We know all about Andrelton Simmons. Everybody in Braves country thrilled to have him on the Braves side because of all that he does. But arguably, we may be watching the two best shortstops in the National League and maybe all of baseball.
Yeah, you raise a good point. Simmons won the Platinum Glove last year, right? This year, the Braves shortstop has committed 2 errors. Brandon Crawford has committed 2 errors.
And they get to so many balls.
Yeah.
Their range is great.
I think the big disadvantage Crawford has is that in his division out west, he'll be always overshadowed by the offense of Troy Tulowitzki, who's having another superhuman offensive year. And he's no slouch with the glove either. Don't misunderstand. Tulowitzki, by the way, enters play tonight hitting .395.
He's healthy for a change.
Minor's down swinging. That's strikeout number 7 for Vogelsong. 2 outs.
Talked about the second baseman and the problems they were having. 0 for the last 27. I tell you, Pasternak, even though he struck out looking his first time up tonight, he was really robbed a couple of times in that last game he played against the Cubs. He stung the ball hard to the right side. And when Tyler made the club a couple of years ago as the starting shortstop, he really made it because of his bat. He was okay defensively, but it was because he could hit.
We all knew and loved Martin Prado and what he could do with the bat. I mean, how many times do we say when you shoot a ball between the first and second baseman? Classic Martin Prado. Tyler could do that too.
Yeah.
And something Freddie Gonzalez said about Pasternaky's game on this team. There are enough guys who can hit home runs. What he needs is the man hitting ninth, whether it's Pasternaky or Pena or someone else, to put the ball in play, get on base, or when the situation warrants, get the bat on the ball.
Absolutely. Be different than everybody else. Braves have a lineup full of guys that are pretty similar in the fact that they have big swings, they have big power, and they have big strikeout numbers. A guy like Pasternaky or Pena could be a compliment, along with Simmons, who doesn't strike out hardly at all. There's guys who could get a rally started or get that runner in from third and less than 2 outs just by handling the bat.
Well,
without a big swing.
That paid off big against the Cubs.
Yeah.
The Atlanta team laid down a perfect squeeze play on a tough pitch to make contact on for Tyler, but he did. And the Braves got a run as a result. And chase to pitch up and out of the zone here, and that's 8 strikeouts for Ryan Vogelsong. He is having himself quite a night. That ties his career high. Strikeouts through 5 innings, but he is a chronically unsupported pitcher. He trails Mike Minor 1-0. We invite you to get 33% off food and concessions at Turner Field when you buy a 2014 Braves season ticket package. Get it for as low as $183. Go to Braves.com/season tickets or call 404-577-9100. Here's Sandoval. He's the 5th place hitter for the Giants. And he pops the first one up right in the middle of the diamond. Freeman takes over. That is a tricky wind in San Francisco, and that's 2 good plays made by Freddie on pop-ups tonight. 1 out.
As John Smoltz said when he was with us last weekend, Tom Glavine also talked about it last week. And you get the first out on 1 pitch. This could be the makings of a real quick inning.
Sanchez struck out in his lone appearance tonight. That was in the 2nd inning. Roller foul. It's 0-2. One of the comments we made in the pregame show and early tonight was the need for Mike Minor to have a good game. I think it's evident he's got real good stuff tonight.
Yeah, it was a rough outing against the Cardinals. 11 hits, 2 walks, and a homer in 4 1/3 inning.
No balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez made Mike wait. Now he'll make Sanchez wait a moment.
Boy, oh boy, fellas. I think Evan went through every set of signs he's got. 1, 2, 3, 4 with a wiggle, and it still wasn't enough.
Maybe Mike doesn't speak Texan.
I just hate it from that rhythm standpoint.
Yeah, it's a very good point.
He's on a good roll here. Set down 12 in a row. Keep it going. That's almost after the 4th sign. Evan ought to just yell out, just throw it, I'll catch it, whatever it is.
In the air to right. Hayward on the run. Good job. And he'll get there. There's the second out.
That's one of the reasons I like Sanchez. We've seen him hit the ball hard and deep the other way.
One thing about this Giants club that really jumps out to me, Joe, is the number of interchangeable parts Bruce Bochy has. Sanchez, one of them. Gregor Blanco can play anywhere in the outfield. Sanchez can catch, can play first, probably could play third if he had to. Sandoval could play first or third. He was raised as a catcher. He could be an emergency guy. Posey can play first and catch. Hicks could play anywhere on the infield.
Yep.
Boy, for a manager, that's Christmas morning, day in and day out. You can really finagle your lineup, something he did against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers, and it paid off huge in a Giants victory the other day.
Yeah, his utility player, Joaquin Arias, same thing. He could play anywhere on the infield, probably in the outfield too.
One ball, 2 strikes for Brandon Hicks. Minor has sent down 13 straight Giants. Only blemish, a double by Hunter Pence the opposite way in the first inning.
Here we go again.
That caught the inside corner. Minor retires his 14th straight Giants hitter. He has struck out 4 men and has a 1-0 lead through 5 innings. Top of the Braves order is coming up. Jason Hayward loves hitting in San Fran. Let's see him do that when we come back. young lady has her Braves jersey on. She's got her poster. She had her glove on a second ago. And right now she's got a great gift. Atlanta's leading the Giants 1-0 after 5 innings at AT&T Park. Now it's time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T. Good ball game. Vogelsong versus Minor. 70th pitch for the Giants righty, who has tied his career high with 8 strikeouts in the first 5 innings of work. But an Evan Gattis triple brought home Freddie Freeman in the 4th, and that's the only run of the game.
That's right. If you just joined us, he said triple.
And it was smoked, too. Low line drive that got to the Bank of America sign in right center field. Freeman scored easily from first on the play, obviously. A run on 3 hits for the Braves. No runs, 1 hit for San Francisco. Deja vu for Vogelsong. We talked about the chronic lack of run support for the Braves staff, as Hayward shoots one in the right field for a leadoff hit. The same story for Vogelsong. The Giants have given him 6 runs of support in his last 5 starts.
Or else he'd be a whole lot better than 1-1. Jason waited nicely on that off-speed pitch. Good start to the inning.
Let's see if Atlanta puts some pressure on Vogelsong and Posey with Justin Upton in the box. Hayward 6 out of 7 in steals. The Braves 21 for 28 as a team. Fly ball well hit toward right center. That's tailing away from Pagan, but he'll get there. Hayward's going to tag. He's going to try to make second, and he will slide in ahead of the play. Good base running by Hayward, and a productive out for Upton. 1 down.
That was a good read by Jason, and probably got a little verbal assistance from Terry Pendleton too, when they had a good read that Pagan was going to track that one down, go back and tag up.
So let's see how carefully Vogelsong works to Freddie Freeman. Freddie singled back in the 4th inning. As Joe said, one reason why Vogelsong is pitching so much more effectively is his ability to limit damage. He came into play tonight allowing just 3 hits in the last 19 at bats with runners in scoring position to opponents' hitters.
And 3 for 21 now.
Johnson and Upton popped out and struck out in the 4th after the Gattis triple. So now it's Posey and Vogelsong's turn to make sure they've got their signals straight.
I'm not sure what Vogelsong was pointing to, and neither was Buster Posey. It was like he was pointing at the ground. I think I might have picked up what it was. You know, he kept pointing like down with his arm, and Posey that time when he gave the signs gave him real low so that he could make out his fingers instead of them being back up in between his legs.
It's a strike. It's 1-2. No problem with lights in the outfield here in San Fran. They're beaming straight in on either side of the big scoreboard.
Outstanding lights here.
Now Freeman behind in the count with 1 out. Not close enough to offer. 2-2. right off his knuckles and fouled straight back.
Fortunate to get a piece of that. That was easily going to be ball 3.
Crawford tries to keep Hayward close at second. And now the 2-2 for Freddie. Is hooked into shallow right. That's going to drop for a hit. Pence plays it on a hop. Hayward's getting a green light, and he's going to be out by a mile. No, they say Posey missed the tag. Holy smokes. The throw beat him by plenty, but somehow Hayward got in under the tag by Buster Posey.
And no argument from Buster. He whiffed on him.
Wow.
That was incredible. He does have him by a mile. And missed. But Posey posed no argument. Bruce Bochy is. Does he get him on the back? I don't think so, because see, he reached out for him again. He flat out whiffed. That was a perfect angle right there.
Now you might recall, will this one be reviewed? Apparently it will be. Bruce Bochy's going to have New York take a look at this. You might recall when the Marlins ran over Buster Posey and shattered his leg. It was that play in particular that began, I believe, the impetus to start protecting the catchers with this home plate collision rule. Buster Posey caught that ball well up the first base line and then made his way to try to cut off Hayward, and he missed him.
He did, and he made no turnaround to Ed Hickox to plead his case and say, I got him, I touched him, I tagged him. And he is safe.
And again, no matter the angle that we show, the rule is there has to be clear and convincing evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Well, that high first angle we had show was clear and convincing that he missed.
Guys, I talked to Jason Hayward just last week about this exact situation. Both he and Freddie Gonzalez, the rise in headfirst dives, especially at the plate in the advent of instant replay. He wouldn't have been able to avoid it if he went feet first, but with the opportunity to go head first, knowing that they would take a second closer look, more guys are going head first so they can pull their hands back.
Swing and a miss by Gaddis.
That's a good point, Tom, because in the past, players were taught never to go in head first because catchers would just plant you with their shin guards and hurt you. Now they can't block the plate, and there's little places to go and slide your hand in, and with that nice tuck of his left shoulder, Jason able to get around him.
I don't think I've ever seen a catcher miss a tag with a runner destined to be that out before in a big league game.
Nice RBI for Freddie Freeman, thanks to that great slide.
So that helps Mike Minor. It's a 2-0 game. Gaddis has the other RBI, and he's behind 0-2.
That was some great base running. Tagging up at first and going to second on the fly ball by Justin, and scoring on that very shallow single to right field on a right fielder who has got a real good arm.
And you know, for Posey, it might have been deja vu. May 25th, 2011. Scott Cousins came barreling into the plate and crashed into Posey on a shallow fly ball to right field that was fielded by Nate Shearholtz, and the throw to the plate led to the collision. A flinch there, but no call. It goes Gaddis' way, full count. The Giants last night got a big break on a replay call. Tonight, Atlanta got a replay call that confirmed a call on the field, and it led to the second run of the night. So those are even. Let's see if the series can be evened up, if Atlanta can hold on tonight.
Great work.
Full count pitch for Gaddis. And way high.
Had him 0-2 also.
And now Dave Righetti, the Giants pitching coach, makes his way to the mound. That's the first walk of the night for Vogelsong.
We're told this is the angle that the judgment was rendered. A whiff all the way down, and then a reach back to try to get him. Never touched him. What a slide.
Again, I've never seen that.
I don't know that I have either. I've seen it where guys have run around to the first base dugout side of home plate trying to avoid the catcher,
right?
But not on a slide like that. Not when the catcher had that much time.
Well, the old saying, too, fortune favors the bold. How about Doug DeCenzo waving Hayward around with a guy with a cannon for an arm in Hunter Pence? You can't count on Posey missing the play at the plate, but you force the Giants to make a couple of plays. They couldn't.
Right.
The Braves may have stolen a second run tonight. Chris Johnson, 2 on, 1 out. Chance for a big inning. And that's upstairs. 1 ball, no strikes. The Giants bullpen will begin to work. Gutierrez will be the first to throw. Slow roller left side. Sandoval cuts in front of Crawford. The Giants get the forced second. Freeman's at third now. Gaddis forced out. Chris Johnson at first. And 2 men are down.
Well, they almost needed a traffic cop. Had Sandoval, Crawford, and Freddie Freeman all converging at the same place.
So here is B.J. Upton. He's struck out twice. The first one looked to be a pretty good pitch. The first strikeout pitch, that is. The second one looked to me well off the plate.
It was. It was a bad call.
One ball, no strikes. And up the middle, base hit for Upton. His first hit this year with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position, and the Braves now lead 3-0.
This is smart at bat. He's gotten him out twice away. First pitch, he almost hits him, and BJ looks like he's thinking middle of the plate away. Got a cutter out there, hit it back through the middle. Well done.
His 9th run batted in. And Anderson Simmons is the 8th batter to hit in the inning. So the Braves pecking away here against Ryan Vogelsong. The Buster Posey missed tag at the plate looms very, very large in the inning. A bullet into the hole at short. That's in for a hit. Here comes Johnson around third. Morse will throw toward third, and the throw there is late. B.J. Upton in safely. Chris Johnson scores the third run of the inning and the fourth of the game. And heads up running by Simmons. He takes second on the throw.
This is one of those plays. First of all, good hitting by Andrelton, pulling it through the hole. This is one of those plays where Chris Johnson has got to run hard all the way through home plate, just in case there's a play at third base, to make sure he scores before a potential third out.
Four hits in the inning for the Braves. They've scored 3 times, and they lead now 4-0.
They've had a big inning. Crooked number on the board. Long time coming.
Mike Minor looks at the ball low.
Eight men coming to the plate. Good stuff.
The last time the Braves scored 3 runs in an inning by my count was May 1st when they played in Miami.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah. Minor, Sandoval with a scoop, and the throw to first in time. How about that inning for Atlanta? 8 come to the plate, 3 score. 4-0 Braves in game 2.
Couple of looks at that play at home plate. Live action. You and I were talking between innings. We think that if Buster Posey just held his glove up like I got him to show that he still had the baseball instead of reaching back for him, he might have gotten a call. Good call by Ed Hickox, too.
I was just going to say, you know, I'm sure it's tempting for him. Ball beats runner. Runner's almost always out.
Yeah.
He called the play as it was, not what the Giants wanted it to be.
He didn't anticipate it. He just waited to see it play out.
So a nice inning for Atlanta. Mike Minor has some breathing room now. He leads 4-0. And he's on a roll. He's set down 14 straight Giants. He's got Crawford, the pitcher spot, and Angel Pagan coming up.
And the Giants just activated David Huff from the disabled list yesterday. He's loosening up, as it looks like they will pinch hit for Vogelsong.
Low and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Joaquin Arias is the man in the on-deck circle. Here's he'll follow Brandon Crawford, who flied out his one and only time up.
You know, in defense of Vogelsong, if Posey does the job and makes the tag, the next play was Gaddis walking, then the ground ball by Chris Johnson. That would have ended the inning. The Braves would not have scored a run.
Yeah, we have a 1-0 game.
Yeah.
Vogelsong will probably still be in the game for Bruce Bochy's club.
Yeah, and there's no error charge, so they're all earned runs too.
That's down and in. 3 balls, 2 strikes. We approach the top of the hour in San Francisco. 4-0 Atlanta in game 2. To center, but not deep enough. B.J. Upton's under it, and he's got it. 1 out. So Arias will hit for Vogelsong. 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs for Vogelsong. He walked 1 and struck out a career high tying 8. Miners retired 15 straight. We've seen Arias quite a bit as a defensive replacement for the Giants. He has 9 hits all year. All of them are singles. He's 9 for 55 at the plate.
Another good change, boy. During this stretch where he's retired 15 in a row, he's mixed his pitches well, but it's the command of those that's been so good.
Mike is beating a Giants lineup that's done good work against left-handed pitching this year. San Francisco 12-6 against left-handed starters so far. To this point, they have 1 hit.
First inning double by Pence.
Arias swings at a bad ball and is struck out. That is 16 straight retired by Mike, and 2 are out. Here's Pagan. He's 0 for 2. He's bounced to third and short. Bell tie right down central. Strike 1. Ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty. 2 outs. 6th inning. Mike Minor has followed Joe's 4 keys to perfection to this point. No big innings, no homers. He has worked out of the windup since the start of the 2nd inning. 2-2.
Oh, good pitch. Pretty good patience by Pagan not to go after that one. Back foot breaking ball.
Base on balls with 2 outs. That snaps the streak. And Hunter Pence comes up. So now we go back to that conversation about rhythm. Minor goes to the stretch for the first time since the first inning, with the dangerous part of the lineup coming up. Pence has the only San Francisco hit. Simmons can't get that. It's headed for left center field. Pagan around second. He's on his way to third. The throw into second will be late. Pence has both giant hits. They're both doubles. And now Buster Posey is up with a chance to get the Giants on the board.
He's the last guy the Braves want to see up there with a chance to drive in runs the way he's hit against Atlanta. A little hesitation there by Pence, waiting to see who is going to field that ball in the outfield. Just missed. Good effort by Andrelton.
Buster Posey. A strike. He's flying to center. He's flying to right. Braves have cooled him off to this point. As Joe mentioned, 18 RBIs in his last 17 games against the Braves. Quickly 0-2.
Back-to-back fastballs. He took the first one okay, but he certainly wasn't expecting him to come back with another fastball. Buster can be awfully tough here, though, because of his ability to go the opposite field when he's behind in the count.
And the Giants as a team, very dangerous with runners in scoring position and 2 out. .275 team mark, and again Gaddis and Minor can't get together on the signs.
Yeah, this situation coming into the series, they were the best in the major leagues.
Posey's 5 for 16 in this spot. That's a .313 mark. Braves bullpen begins to work as Minor readies an 0-2. Posey laid off. All this trouble after a 2-out walk. And Posey couldn't check his swing and strikes out. 6 strikeouts for Mike Minor. And the Giants are out of luck in the home 6th. We go to the 7th. Braves enjoying game 2. They lead the Giants 4-0. We head to the 7th inning. Time for our Georgia Power game summary. Boy, Mike Minor has been awfully impressive.
He had set down 16 in a row before he ran into a little hiccup there in the 6th inning, but pitched around it. Good work from two of the top 3 guys in the lineup, and Hayward and Freeman, who have given Vogelsong problems in the past. Evan Gattis had an RBI triple. Yes, we said triple. So good night for the offense and for Mike Minor.
The Giants are in their bullpen. This is left-hander David Huff, activated from the disabled list yesterday. He missed 18 games with a left quad strain.
See how he hurt it? Legging out his first major league hit.
Tried to be an athlete.
Yes. Came up short.
Well, Huff was originally a Cleveland Indian. 39th overall pick back in 2006. Pitched at UCLA. And then Cleveland waived him. The Yankees picked him up in May of 2013. And in January of this year, the Giants got him from New York for cash considerations. David's 29 years old, born in San Diego, lives in Huntington Beach. And off the plate for Tyler, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tyler has struck out twice, once looking, once swinging. 8 Braves have struck out. And a little looper over second will drop for a hit. That snaps that long hitless streak by the trio of Braves second basemen. It was 0 for 28. Pasterniki has a leadoff hit.
Well, he was having a rough night tonight with a couple of strikeouts, but this kind of makes up for a couple of those shots that he hit that were caught at home against the Cubs. And another good start to an inning.
Jason Hayward's the batter. And a bouncing ball to first. Step on the bag, the throw to second, gets away from the shortstop Crawford, but no further advance. Sanchez handled a tricky hop at the bag, made the play, got the force there. And on the fielder's choice, Pasterniki safely in at second.
After he caught this ball up high, he didn't realize that, I don't think, that he was right on top of the bag when he came down, and then wound up making the throw very flat-footed.
So Justin Upton's the hitter. He's 0 for 3. Chance to add to Atlanta's lead here in the 7th. A hot shot to right. That's a base hit. And this time the Braves don't send Tyler Pasterniki as Pence came up firing. And Atlanta has them first and third with the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up and 1 out.
He sent Hayward when he was a dead duck, and I thought Tyler had an outstanding chance to score there. And with 2 outs, why not take a chance? Well, because there's only 1 out, Joe.
Well, he didn't exactly come steaming into the third base bag.
He only got an early stop sign. Yeah. That's why.
So first and third, 1 out for Freeman. He bounces one toward first. Sanchez high throw. Crawford return throw. Close play and in time at first. Now the Braves might come out and argue this one. Terry Pendleton believes Huff may have not had his foot on the first base bag.
He couldn't look down. He was taking the throw and he couldn't find the base, so it's quite possible that he fanned on the base.
And if this call is overturned at first, Pasterniki would score a 5th Atlanta run.
Miss. Safe. Even missed on the kick.
And the fans are very upset, Joe, because they were a couple of bars in to take me out to the ball game, and they're going to have to start all over in a few minutes because this inning's going to continue.
Miss. And he's still trying. You give him a little mule kick back there. No, holding up Tyler with one out was absolutely the right thing to do. I had the outs wrong, and especially with Freddie Freeman coming up.
So on the fielder's choice, give Freeman an RBI. That'll score Pasternaky. Upton was forced out at second base, so it's now a 5-0 score. The play overturned. And now Evan Gattis will be the hitter. Boy, when the Braves get runs, I love replay.
Very efficient tonight on their replay timing.
Here's Gattis with 2 out. And he takes a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. Coming into play tonight, the Braves had scored a total of 5 runs against the Giants in the first 4 games. They have 5 runs on 9 hits this evening. And that's high to Gattis. 2 balls and a strike.
Huff's fastball is high 80s, low 90s. Throws a cutter off of it. You just saw him throw a changeup to Evan Gattis. He's also got a curveball that he uses occasionally.
That's out of play, foul. 2-2. Good eye. I thought that was strike 3.
Yep. He was headed to the dugout.
Posey tried to steal a strike. It didn't work. Full count. Freeman will run at first. There he goes. And Gattis stays alive. Evans, the subject of our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard.
He's first in home runs by catchers. Mr. Posey tied for second. You hear good things about that Mike Zunino with the Mariners. Good looking young player.
We'll see him and the Mariners up close playing this year. Fly out of play. Thank goodness it's not the, well, we do have the home and home with Seattle, but thank goodness it's not on back-to-back days.
Oh my. It's where the New York teams are very fortunate. The LA teams are fortunate. They just have to drive across town on those 2-2 games.
Braves have one of those with the Red Sox. They've got 2 with Seattle at home in June and in Seattle in early August. And Gattis takes a call, 3rd strike. And that will retire the side. Atlanta gets an extra run courtesy of replay. Freeman hustled down the line and beat out a play at first base on a run-scoring fielder's choice. 7th inning stretch, part 2. 5-0 Atlanta the lead. The 7th inning. As we promised you earlier in the game, time for our AT&T fan photo of the game. And tonight's fan photo is someone having a ball.
That's a big one. That's a big Braves ball right there for Laurie. Good picture.
That's how big the baseball's looking for the Atlanta offense tonight. A breakout game for the Braves bats. 5-0 is your score. A huge lead for Mike Minor. One defensive change for Atlanta. Ramiro Pena has checked in to play second base. You see Mike Minor's line, 94 pitches through 6 innings. At one point, he retired 16 consecutive Giants hitters. He's got Morse, Sandoval, and Sanchez coming up. To short. Simmons to his left. And Morse is out by a couple of steps. Good start to the 7th inning. 1 out.
Used to be somebody in the dugout on a game like this, but against a team like the Braves, hitting ground balls to Andrelton Simmons, somebody would yell out, "Better try somebody else, boys."
Yeah.
He's not going to miss.
So a new season high for Minor in innings pitched tonight. In his first start against the Giants, he went 6, gone 6 1/3 so far in game 3 individually tonight. Sandoval's hit the ball in the air twice, and his third try is pulled foul, and he's behind 0-2. Final game of the series here tomorrow. Braves will fly to St. Louis and have an off day in the Gateway City. The Giants will welcome the Marlins. And all of baseball still, I think, shocked and disappointed at the Jose Fernandez news.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking.
A squibber. Funny spin. Freeman will go to the bag, and a collision there, and he gets the call. Freeman and Minor collide as Sandoval got to the bag at the same time. What in the world was going on there? 2 out.
Well, by the time the ball came down, Mike was in a position to have the ball just tossed to him, but it was almost like Freddie didn't want to take the chance of tossing it to him and having it be dropped.
Well, I tell you what, there are a couple of things that could have been tragic there. Freeman could have slid into Minor's ankle, and when Mike came down with his foot, could have turned his ankle or stepped on Freeman's hand.
Well, he did roll it a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was ugly.
Two outs for Sanchez.
That goes in the books as a 3-U, but it was more like a 3-ooh.
Very good point. 102 pitches for Minor. That's down the right field line, and a fair ball. Hector Sanchez has shown he is not afraid to poke the ball the other way. So he's 1 for 3. That's the third San Francisco safety tonight.
He's got good coverage too. He's just got a real quick step and set of his front foot. And he had that outside part covered.
So Brandon Hicks will try to keep the inning alive. As Joe mentioned, this bottom part of the Giants order is still a very potent part of their attack. Hicks with 15 ribbies. But tonight, tough luck. He has popped out to first and has struck out looking. One ball, one strike. Foul at third, a ball and 2 strikes. Mike Minor has handcuffed the Giants. He's trying to win his first major league game since last August 25th. He's a strike away from sending this ball game to the 8th.
Here's what you're talking about, Chip. It's been a while between wins. His last 8 starts dating back to last season. You can believe it, he's 0-6 and an ERA of almost 5.
Mike has been very willing and very effective pitching on the inner half to the right-hand hitters tonight.
Caught Hicks looking on a pitch, good fastball on the inner corner back in the 5th inning.
Full count pitch for Brandon Hicks. And it missed badly inside. So first and second. Will it be Freddie Gonzalez or Roger McDowell? It will be Freddie Gonzalez, and that's the last pitch of the night for Mike Minor. .110 pitches for Mike, covering 6 2/3 innings. That latter number a season high. And he's in excellent shape to pick up the win. Atlanta leads 5-0. He'll need some help from the pen in San Francisco tonight. Great to see Mike Minor have good results tonight in his 3rd start of the season against the Giants. His work are Zaxby's indescribably good play.
13-game winner last year, but you saw that graphic earlier that he had a little trouble at the end of the year. Good stuff tonight, though. After giving up the double in the first inning to Hunter Pence, he went on a real tear, retiring the next 16 in a row with an assortment of pitches that were all well in command of Mike Minor. A couple of walks, they came in the last 2 innings. And he'll turn it over to Ian Thomas.
And your keys were right for Mike. No homers, no big innings, no trouble against this Giants ball club. So good work for Minor. Ian Thomas will face Crawford, who, as Joe said, has torn up left-handed pitching, but he'll be seeing a different Ian Thomas since the last time the Giants saw the Braves.
Yeah, be careful on the first pitch.
Openings, called strike.
Ian's got a good change-up to work on right-handers. He's been working on a slider to be more effective against left-handed hitters.
Breaking ball hung up inside, and Crawford fought it off. It's 0-2. Swing and a miss. Ian Thomas carved up Brandon Crawford. And the Giants out of luck in the 7th. San Francisco, Joe and Chip with you from AT&T Park, where the Braves lead 5-0. We invite you to join us for Memorial Day weekend at Turner Field. Great matchups against the Rockies and the world champion Boston Red Sox. Make sure you get your Braves tickets well in advance for a big weekend of baseball at Turner Field. Get them at Braves.com. Gregor Blanco takes over in center field for Angel Pagan. Chris Johnson swings at the first pitch in the 8th, and he'll roll out to third base. 1 pitch, 1 out.
An interesting substitution of Blanco for Pagan. Pagan's due up second next inning, and an odd time for him to come out of the game unless there was something wrong. Boy, you love that shot, don't you, right there?
I would imagine that's pretty nice batter's background.
It is beautiful.
Pop fly, foul it out of play. I mean, it's really rare. I mean, look, we're all in the nitpicking business. Any ballpark you go to, I'm sure you can find a wart or two. It's really hard to find anything wrong with this place. I don't know if,
even with the afterthought bullpens, they're functional. They work.
And I was going to say, there's so many design cues from Wrigley Field here that it seems only natural that the bullpens would be like the ones on Chicago's north side. All the red brick. We talked about it last night. It's such a small urban footprint, and it really is a terrific, intimate crowd. With all the standing room only folks, it's up to 41,000 people. As Upton is called out on strikes for the third time tonight. He and Ed Hickox aren't seeing eye to eye tonight.
Let's check it out on Fox Tracks. He's right again. That's twice tonight. He got rung up once really on a pitch way outside, and that one missing inside.
So 2 are out for Simmons. Andleton, an RBI hit. And that one stroked toward Crawford. And he played that about as well as you can. Simmons hustling down the line is retired. And the Braves are out in the top of the 8th inning. 5-0 Atlanta. Up for their turn in the home 8th inning. Hope you'll join us for the big concert at the ballpark with Austin Mahone. It's June 3rd, and it's presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. It's a free post-game concert. Limited VIP field passes are available for the show. They're just $20 a piece. Get them online at Braves.com/concerts. Ian Thomas back out there for the 8th inning. He'll have the 9, 1, and 2 spots for San Fran. And Ere Adrianza is up to start things off. That's fouled at the plate for a swinging strike. Told you earlier, the Angels helped the Braves out by beating the Phillies 4-3. The Dodgers are beating the Marlins 6-1 in the 8th. Mets were winners 12-7 over the Yankees tonight. Curtis Granderson's starting to heat up. He hit his 5th home run for New York.
Boy, they have feasted on Yankees pitching the last couple of nights.
12 runs on 10 hits for the Mets versus New York. New York Mets now 19-19, so are the Yankees. Former Brave Brian McCann also homered in the game. Thomas strikes out Adrianza. He's got 2 strikeouts in the game. There's out number 1.
Right at the target. Cubs beat up on the Cardinals last night. Tonight they've decided to play some free baseball.
They're in the 12th. And Evans 3-3. Here's Gregor Blanco. Times are tough for Gregor right now at the plate. He's been a big part of their ball club the last couple of years. This season, Blanco hitting 100. 2 for his last 28. That's going to be fixed with a base hit toward right center field. Blanco, big turn. He's going to try for 2. The Hayward throw is high. Blanco came off the bag, and Simmons a diving stab. Got there an eyelash late.
When you're hitting a paltry 100 or whatever it is, you're excited about anything that drops in, to the extent that even down 5-0, he was going to try to go for 2 and made it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say, boy, he's hitting a hard 100.
Yeah.
But a good start for Blanco in the Giants' 8th. 1 on, 1 out. Braves protecting a 5-0 advantage. Tomorrow in the Giants' 8th inning. So Anthony's gobbled up some very important innings for this Braves relief corps. He's pitched real good ball to start this season. He's got Pence and Posey coming up for the Giants, trying to avoid a shutout. They got to put 4 hits. Blanco at second, 1 out. Pence has a couple of doubles. Two balls, no strikes. That's foul to the right. It's 2-1. Nice catch. Fan from Sausalito caught that ball. 2 balls and a strike. More good news on the scoreboard tonight. Arizona beat the Nationals 3-1. Bronson Arroyo outdueled Steven Strasburg. D-backs won 3-1. How in the world did he make contact with that ball?
That's what I'm talking about. He was almost, his hind pockets were almost headed back to the dugout, and then he's just like, okay, well, I'll give it one last go here to see if I can reach it.
Look at this.
I mean, he hit it when the ball was already by the plate, it looked like.
Didn't get that one. Pence is struck out.
Well, I think he took a little off on one and very effective with it.
Wild gets the first batter faced, and here's Posey. The play of the game tonight was Posey's missed tag of Jason Hayward in the 6th inning. On a Freddie Freeman base hit to right, Pence came up firing, and they had Hayward out by 15 feet. But Posey moved up the line to apply the tag. Hayward ducked under it. Posey missed him, reached for him, didn't get him. And Hickox with proper call of Hayward safe to extend the Atlanta lead to 2. 2 more runs came across in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. That's where we stand, 5-0. Way outside. It's now 3-0. Don't want to walk Posey. You've got the slugger Michael Morse on deck. David Carpenter is loosening in the Atlanta pen. Rolled foul toward the Giants' pen, and the Seagulls are getting hungry.
Well, they sent some guys out to scout ahead about the 6th inning. Brought their pals back with them. What'd you call that last night?
The poop deck.
Yep.
Perching room only up there. 3 balls, 2 strikes for Buster Posey. That's in the air. Hayward will battle the Seagulls and comes away with the line drive out. And that sends this game to inning number 9. Braves are twirling a shutout tonight in game 2 against the Giants.
Atlanta Braves baseball is presented by the Georgia Lottery, Toyota, and AT&T.
I sure hope that's not a foreign substance on the big glove.
It looks like glove conditioner to me. That is the fair or foul umpire.
Technology hasn't quite caught up here in San Francisco, as the Giants, before this big crowd, make a whole host of defensive changes. Adrianza will stay in the game for them and play second base. Moving from second to first is Brandon Hicks. Hector Sanchez moves from first to the plate. There's Adrianza. There's Sanchez. And the new pitcher is Yusmeiro Petit. Jordan Schaefer grabs a bat. He'll pinch hit for Varvaro. Petit's done a nice job for San Francisco this year. Remember, he had an emergency start for Matt Cain after he cut his finger, and he pitched a beauty. His first pitch will result in a ground out to second by Jordan Schaefer. One down. Petit is misnamed. He's a big man, 6'1", 250 pounds. Giants signed him to a minor league contract after the 2011 season. Was originally with the Mets, then he went to the Marlins in the Carlos Delgado deal. Pitched in Mexico. And now here with the Giants.
Good fastball, low 90s. Got a good curveball, slider, occasional change. He uses curveball to left-handers.
Pena took a strike. Romero came on in the 7th inning. So this is his first at bat. Breaking ball, got Pena to swing and miss. 2 up, 2 down in the 9th inning. Back to our AT&T Uverse trivia question. We've had a lot of time to think about this one tonight. Hunter Pence was the subject. He had 178 hits last year, named the last Giant with a 200-hit season, and it does go all the way back to their days in New York.
I'm going to change my Bill Miller guess to another guy with an M, Bill Madlock.
Madlock's a great call. I will go with another guy, M. Willie Mays. Let's see if our guess is good tonight. The answer is wrong.
Well, we gave it the old college try.
1 ball, no strikes. So we've had Stan Hack, Ray Durham, and Rich Aurelia all in the last week. What do we do to deserve that?
Good homestand.
Yeah, pretty much. 1 ball, 1 strike for Hayward. He had the slide of the year for Atlanta in the 6th. Braves have not had many games like tonight offensively. We've talked about that a lot. In fact, the last time they had a 5-0 lead was April 25th. They did that against Homer Bailey and the Reds.
Again, that was a long time ago, too. Good signs tonight, though. 3-run inning on 4 hits. Also had a walk in the 6th inning in that big inning. And they've done it tonight without benefit of a homer.
5 runs on 9 hits. Braves have left 5 on base. No runs, 4 hits for San Francisco.
Got some 2-out hits, clutch 2-out hits. It drove in a couple of runs in the 6th inning. All good things.
Strike 3 called. Hayward knew it. And that will retire Atlanta in the top of the 9th inning. Last call for San Francisco. They trail 5-zip.
Was presented by Georgia Power, The Home Depot, Zaxby's Indescribably Good, and your Atlanta area Mazda dealers.
Beautiful San Francisco night, and inside AT&T Park, it's a pretty score as well, as you see, through 8.5 innings. Our Mazda game summary.
Great work by the offense tonight. That was really our topic of conversation when the night began, about how the offense just had to kick it in gear. Down near the bottom of Major League numbers in terms of runs scored and batting average with runners in scoring position. We've been lamenting that for a while. So they really stepped up tonight to support Mike Minor, who had his best start since coming back from the disabled list, throwing 6 2/3 innings, a 3-hit shutout ball. Here's a guy who's dealing. He's dealing in the rotation. Same thing out of the bullpen. 5 appearances, 8 1/3 innings, no runs. David Hale.
And Michael Morse will greet him as we approach 10 o'clock in Frisco. And downstairs, this could be a very productive night for the Braves. Washington lost. Miami's losing big. The Phillies lost. If this score holds, Atlanta could be 2.5 games up in the division. Play foul to even it down.
David pitched last night, worked the 8th inning, gave up a hit, had a strikeout, got a double play ball turned behind him. He had a few days rest prior to that, about 5 days prior to last night's outing.
That's up the middle, nearly hit the second base bag. And Morse's run of tough luck continues. He's 0 for 4. 2 for his last 28, and is the first out in the bottom of the 9th.
That's where it can be a little deceptive. When you see that 2 for 28, you think, boy, from afar, you're thinking this guy is really in a bad slump. But unless you're watching the games and seeing the contact he's making by and large every night, You realize he's hitting the ball at people. Braves had him defense perfectly.
Pablo Sandoval has a 3-game hit streak on the line in this at bat. Let's take it low. 1 ball, no strikes. Into center field. So Sandoval keeps the hit streak alive. It's now at 4 games. He's aboard in front of Sanchez.
Good fastball down at the knees. The guy whose bat is beginning to heat up. Get a good swing on it.
Sanchez has a double in 3 tries tonight. He began the game at first base. He's behind the plate now for the Giants. And he launches one to center. Upton is back. Now a step or 2 onto the warning track and is there to make the play. That ball went straight up in the air and was very deep. And now San Fran down to its final out.
Yeah, 400 feet up and 400 feet out.
So Brandon Hicks, the final hope for San Francisco. He's popped out and struck out. He walked last time up. More excellent starting pitching by the Braves' Mike Minor tonight.
Well, and hopefully it will get him going in the right direction after having to go so long, it seems, dating back to last season since his last win.
That's in the dirt. Nice stop by Gaddis, August 25th of last year.
His command was just impeccable tonight, I thought, with all of his pitches. But not afraid to pitch inside, as you said. You like watching him pitch because he will pitch inside, and he kept the hitters honest.
Two-one count. And now high, 3 balls and a strike. Braves are gunning for their 6th shutout win this year. They're blanking a tough team to shut out. The Giants have only been shut out once. Not away from number 2 tonight. 3 balls and a strike.
Two outs, bottom of the 9th, 5-0 lead. You like to see David go right after him, throw the fastball. This guy's a good fastball hitter. And something off speed might cause him to twist himself in the ground, but it was a fastball, maybe a 2-seamer. Wasn't where he wanted it.
So 2 are on with 2 outs. Gaddis to the mound.
And the box tracks would say it did tick that high and inside corner.
So the game's still alive for San Francisco. Brandon Crawford, the batter, is 0 for 3.
And the Braves didn't want to get anybody else up, but Roger McDowell will buy some time for Craig Kimbrell.
Braves need an out to even the series and try to win it outright, we hope, tomorrow with a terrific pitching matchup presented by Chevron.
It's going to be a great matchup. It's going to be a very warm day. Early starting time here, 12:45 local time. So guys will be able to play in their shirt sleeves tomorrow. It'll be a beautiful day for baseball. I use the term baseball. Stealing it from you.
I like it. Take it. It's yours. My gift to you.
Well, thank you.
That's Crawford digs in.
I'd like to give you a ground ball to second right here and get this over with.
I'm with you. There's a strike. Kimbrel is up in the pen. Let's hope he doesn't have to work too much. Downstairs. A ball, one strike.
After that good rest, David Hale very sharp last night. Not quite as spot on as he was last night, and I think that's kind of to be expected. Even though he's had a few outings now to the bullpen, still getting used to back-to-back efforts.
How about that pitch?
Seemed like he held on to that pitch forever. He just kind of finally let it go about halfway to home plate.
Laser foul into the seats. There's the ground ball to second. The Nostradamus of the National League comes through again, and the Braves knock off the Giants and even the series. 5-0 the final score. The 6th shutout victory earned by the Braves this evening. Mike Minor was absolutely terrific, and a big 3-run 6th turned the trick for Atlanta in Game 2. We will come back to AT&T Park and talk about the Braves win right after this.